So it's not too often that I cover Nintendo NES 8-bit from 1985 on my channel, Just Jamie, but to be fair, I'm an emulation, retro emulation channel, and Nintendo NES 8-bit is a quintessential system for retro gaming. Nintendo NES gave birth to what we have today pretty much. It was the first big mainstream commercial system after the Atari 2600, in the West at least. So every now and again I'll come across something really interesting, captivating enough to do a video on it, and this is 3D Zen. So you can buy a copy of this over on itch.io, and it does cost money. It costs $9.99, which is roughly about £8, £7.50 in the UK. I'll leave the link in my description for this, but to date this system, this emulator, caters for around 90 games, and the emulator also features a 2D mode as well. So just looking at the pictures and even probably watching the gameplay, which I'm going to show you in a minute, probably won't justify it enough. You've really got to experience 3D Zen for yourselves to see how truly great it is. So I've got a shortcut on my desktop and I've got several games to show you this. And this is the main interface. So yes, it looks a little bit dull. It doesn't look that great, but we can actually go to Skybox and change the way it looks. Now the problem is, just to say, if we change the backgrounds just here, that also reflects in gameplay as well, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So for now, I'm going to leave Skybox on black. We've also got options here to configure our controller. So as standard, this is going to come keyboard. If we go to gamepad, you can then plug in a controller, go to export, and then you can map out, configure your controllers. Pretty cool stuff. Now we also got TV mode, so obviously NTSC regions, the speed of your games is going to be a lot faster than my region, which is PAL. So I'm going to leave this to NTSC. Now under TV box, we can actually put decorations on the sides of the screen, which again I'm going to show you in a minute. So you're not just lumbered with black sidebars. So there's lots of different options here for aesthetics. So what I'm going to do is actually show you how this works. Now I've got some games on my desktop. First of all, if I just go to game, we got the option here for 2D mode rather than playing games in 3D. Emulation wise, it's a really solid emulator, probably as good as something like Nestopia. But here are 7 pages here of games that it currently supports. So it also supports light gun games or Nintendo Zapper gun games such as Duck Hunt. Most classics are in here I would play as a kid, such as Chip and Dale, DuckTales in the Mario games. So the compatibility is pretty good and it gets better with each update. We also got Mega Man, and again Mega Man 2 was a game I used to play as a kid a hell of a lot. Metroid. So to actually load a game, what I'm going to do is pick a game first of all. So if I choose one of my favourites, which is Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, I just double left click on Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I can then go to my directory where my games are. Here's my game, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, and just notice that these are in .zip file extension and they work really well. So double left click, that's going to load. So if I go back into the menu whilst that game is on and I go to settings, from here I can then go to Skybox and I can change the background to fantasy. If I go back into the game, Look, to be honest, I'm a little bit more of a fan of default, and whilst we're here, we can also go to TV box and give it some sides. So let's try again. I'm not a too big fan of that, to be honest. I just like everything to default and none. And also under render, if we put this from direct to render text, we can also make this slightly blurred. So if I go to, say, 1.4, for example, as you can see, it's a bit blurred. So personally, again, I like this to be at native. If we go to anti-alias, also we can blur the image, and that's already set. If I put this to none, so you get the idea with that. So I'm going to test another game out for you to see. And I'm also going to make you aware that if we just press on full screen, you'll go into total full screen mode here. If we turn it off, you then go into more of a window mode. We also got a shadow just here. So if I take this off, you'll notice that the character, it's not got a shadow. If I put it back on, and there you go, lots of fun to be having with this. So let's load up another game. So if I go to game, I've got quite a good few games here to show you how these look in 3D. Bubble Bobble, I'm going to put this on, but it's not the greatest looking 3D example. So like I said, not the best example of what this system has to offer. So I'm going to go for most people's favourite NES game, which is Contra. I'm also using my right analog stick to give it perspective as well, which I'm doing right now. Now if I use my triggers, I can zoom in and out. There we go. So that's Contra for you. Another goods game, which I think looks pretty good in 3D, is actually Donkey Kong. Pretty cool stuff. We've also got Adventure Island, which is a lot like Wonder Boy. Yeah, I'm going to give up with that one. We also got Batman, which is, of course, a really hard game too. Yeah, still a really hard game all this time later. We also got a bit of Castlevania to check out. Paul has played this one before, I certainly have. So yeah, utterly failing at these Nintendo NES games, but let's just remember that these are Nintendo NES games and they're supposed to be hard. And lastly, I'm going to be showing you Mega Man 2. And that's it for 3DS. Brief little showcase. Like I said at the start of the video, you can buy that one from Steam or on itch.io. It's around $9.99 in the States, and it's around £7.50 to £8 here in the UK. Definitely worth your while. Now, you might have noticed that in some of that gameplay, it might appear to be very laggy. The reason that is that I've got processes going on in the background, which I can't stop right now. But it's very fluid gameplay if you don't have things running in the background. Anyways, if you liked today's video, hit notifications, subscribe and like so you don't miss upcoming retro emulation content. And join me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. But until next time, stay retro.